Hello, folks, and welcome back to A Case of Distrust. We are headed to the Tin Spoon to confront Ella about the fact that there's a back door. Which she'll probably not know about, but, Green...
she's stuff, too.
She is. And don't get me wrong, she has, well, a different kind of motive. Not really against Green himself, but potentially against the Tiny Paul... Ms. Green situation.
Yeah,
so.
But I don't know what killing Green would do with that. Personally, I think
could have been an accident.
Lust accident. Okay.
A lust accident.
A lust accident.
Just too much lust.
Tiny
okay.
Paul,
it'll be a stable one. There.
Where is he? That's Shipman.
Where's stable?
Stable's up here.
Yeah, there it is.
And boom.
There we go.
I have a source that says there's a back exit at the Tin Spoon. What do you know about this? Ella Smith nodded.
Yes, we do have one. It's behind the woman's changing room. I can't imagine any of the men know about it. They would never be able to get back there without causing a riot, but the girls use it whenever we need to slip away from the customers who are,
She paused.
well, too eager.
So, there's a back exit to the Tin Spoon that only women know about.
Except Tiny Paul owns the place. He's got to know about it, but okay, fair enough.
You know,
All
I'm
right.
just saying the clues are leading us down. That's right.
I don't think we have anything new.
Yeah, I think that's about it. So, I think it's time to go have a talk with Mrs. Green.
Okay.
That's just at least where the evidence is leading us.
Yeah,
Right
let's talk with Ms. Green.
Not even the evidence, just the graphics, the way they're talking about it.
I agree. Look, the only reason I keep bringing up the fact that Tiny Paul could also have done it is because Tiny Paul could also have done it. Like, every piece of evidence that indicates Miss Green's guilt also kind of indicates Tiny Paul's guilt, so let's learn about this one. We also could ask Tiny Paul about whether or not he knew about the exit.
Oh, that would probably be important.
Yeah. But let's see what she knows.
Hey,
Ask about the notes.
about to bring some heat down on you. I'm so sorry. All right, let's do it.
Tin Spoon has a back exit, yeah.
Okie dokie. There's a back door that only female performers can use. Is that right, Mrs. Green?
Oh, yes.
She said.
I think they're right. I stepped out at some point during the night.
Mrs. Green admitted.
Sometimes a girl needs fresh air, but I could not have been gone long. I was in the billiards room most of the night.
So Miss Green had no alibi at the time of Connor's death. I noted that and continued asking other questions. So, means she doesn't have an alibi. Oh, the knowledge that killed her does not ask her if you're asking about Paul's gun. So Jameson alone, all gangsters keep a close eye on their cannons. Oh, that's still her. But should I contradict that? Have we asked her these three things?
Well, they'd keep changing based on the information we have.
So, I want to see if we can do all three real quick.
Okay.
Like, get through the contradiction gauntlet.
Okay.
Should I show the gun? Or the fact that his gun was missing? Says Paul's gun is missing?
Sure.
Someone close could snag his gun.
Yeah. That's a better one.
Tiny Paul's gun is missing, and he says only somebody close to him could grab it.
What are you implying, Miss Malone?
She questioned. Just that anybody in the billiards room could have taken his gun, and you were close to Tiny. We've read that. She didn't like that. She had access to the murder weapon. Okay. Now let's go to the next one. Opportunity. Because we can do all three.
And this is where, yeah, she had, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
I asked her about her night.
I may have stepped out for a bit, but I surely wasn't gone long. That bit of air still,
No, that bit of air still could have been given enough time to kill her husband. So she had no alibi. And then motive. And she definitely has a motive.
Yeah. Before we accuse her,
Do you want to go ask
I
him
want to
if
go
he knows?
yes, that's all I want.
No, I agree. And look, once again, she's the easy answer. And so I don't know if this is a game that, like, is the kind to look for an easy answer. Just how do you prove it?
Yeah.
Or if it's a big twist.
Yeah, Tiny Paul's apartment.
I just know of the three things we're looking for, she checks out for all three.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
Okay. Hey, Paul, let's chat for a second.
Yeah, we need one fact from you, buddy. Just one single fact.
I feel like we could have called.
Yep. All right.
Ask about notes. Ask about
Statements. There it is. The tin spoon had a back exit.
Stable tells me there's a back exit to your joint, I put to him. Might you have escaped that way last night?
Back exit?
Paul asked.
I don't know what medicine Stable is using or what medicine he should be using, but I don't know any back exits to the tin spoon.
However long I pressed him, Paul wouldn't admit there were any ways out of the tin spoon beyond the front door.
Okay, perfect. Then let's go with accuser.
We got her perfect.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah, no, valid.
All right.
Okay.
Perfect. Mostly because she might claim that other people could have, and now we have that statement. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Green. It's time. Let's do
right.
this.
I feel weird about it just because they kept being like, this will screw you
Oh,
over 100%.
When you do this. But I think we're at least in a good position for it.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens next.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We can take any gauntlet she throws at us.
All right.
Because we just did the main 3, so.
Okay, talk.
All right.
Accuse.
Here we go. I thought of accusing Fanny Green of killing her husband. All right. Are we ready?
Yep.
We have all 3?
We have all 3. Let's do it.
Fanny Green, I stated boldly. You killed your husband. A stillness permeated the room as I spoke my words. I can prove your means, motivation, and opportunity for the murder. Fanny's face contorted, like I'd first seen her at the Southern Coffee. She barked at me.
What are you saying? I loved my husband dearly. How dare you accuse me of murder?
She huffed her way out of breath, which gave me the chance to prove it.
Prove means.
Prove means. So means is how she could do it, right?
Yeah, which is somebody, where is it? Someone close could snag his gun.
Used to prove means.
Yep, that's
Tiny
good
Paul's
noise.
gun is missing, and he says only somebody close to him could grab it.
What are you implying, Miss Malone?
She questioned with raised eyebrows. That you were close enough to Paul to take his gun. She screamed until she was blue, but I didn't believe her denials. An affair could give her enough motivation to kill her husband and access Paul's gun. Yeah. Mm-hmm. She could get the gun.
Yep.
I had shown Miss Green that Paul's missing gun could have been the murder weapon. Considering her affair with Tiny Paul, she also would have the perfect motive to kill her husband. I just need to prove that Miss Green had the opportunity for murder. Prove opportunity that she has no out or the back door.
Yep.
Tin spoon has a back exit.
Was there a specific? Yeah, that's probably the one. I wasn't sure if there was a specific, like, she doesn't have a... Yeah.
Well, I could start with she wasn't there.
Let's
that
see the
Fanny
back.
wasn't at the pool at hall at midnight, and then she'll be like, well, I couldn't have gone because the thing...
Yeah.
Or I could just jump straight to, there's a back exit. I feel like that'll get us to where we need to go.
Probably, yeah.
Tin spoon has a back exit.
Yeah, okay.
You admitted to being gone for parts of the night, I told her. That could have given you the perfect opportunity to murder your husband. She huffed at that for a while, but it stuck. It was clear now. I put it to her. Mrs. Green, you're the only one of my suspects with provable motive, means, and opportunity for the murder. You knew you had to leave your husband. You loved Paul. And, as often happens, you began hating Connor because of it. So you tailed him to see what he was scheming. Maybe you could sink his plans and have the mob do your dirty work. Then you met me. You learned your husband had been receiving death threats, and you knew that was your play. If he died, police would blame it on the underground. So last night, after your singing, you called Connor to the tin spoon. You snuck out of the billiards room the back way, taking Paul's gun with you. That's when you shot him. She looked at me hotly, about to burst, but then she sighed and stared down at her feet. She began to cry. However many opiates were running through her blood, they had lost all their effectiveness. I put an arm around her as she wept.
Connor had made my life miserable,
She said between sobs.
Look around this dump. That's how ruined I am inside. Oh, the manipulative little sneak. You're right, I hated him. It's why I started going with Paul in the first place.
She balked at my surprise.
Oh, no, I never loved Paul. I wanted him to kill Connor.
Which is why it looked like he had so many opportunities to do it.
But after learning about Ella...
She trailed off.
Oh, how could I convince Paul that if he loved someone else? I had no way of leaving Connor. I slumped back into my misery.
What about a divorce? I offered.
Divorce?
She screamed the word back at me.
Connor Connor would never give me that. They say we're emancipated, sure, but we still need our husband's permission to leave his home. I was the only good thing that bum owned, and he would never let me go. That's why I was chasing him yesterday.
She continued.
If I could prove infidelity, I'd demand a split in court. I got all excited when I saw you standing in your doorway.
She started breathing more heavily.
And I had to follow you to make sure, but I was certain I had my out.
She sniffed.
Only it happened you were above board. You're a detective, and I'm still trapped. After we met, I came home to find Connor waiting for me. He said we'd be leaving for St. Louis.
She took a gasp of air and continued.
Leaving everything I'd known for a place I'd never been, with a man I didn't love. I couldn't do it. I told him no. And then he struck me.
She wiped away her tears, and with them came her blush and thick camouflage powder. A liver-colored spot on the size of a silver dollar showed up on her cheekbone.
Just marched out the door.
She continued through her waterworks.
I didn't know what to do. And then you,
Oh, and then you thought of Paul's gun, I concluded for her.
That's right. Maybe Paul wouldn't kill Connor, but I knew he carried a cannon, and I knew I could get it.
So you took Paul's gun and killed your husband, I said.
No.
She said.
No, that was my plan, but...
She broke off her sentence with a sniff and started another.
I went to Paul's apartment late in the afternoon and grabbed his pistol. Then I came back here. I sat in the chair, petting the gun in my hand, wondering if I would do it. That's when he came in.
Your husband? I offered.
No, a much kinder man. Oh, he listened so well. I even told him about...
She paused.
About my plan.
This other man, you knew him? I asked. She nodded, yes.
He said he understood everything. He said he could frame the murder. He said not to worry. He took the gun. Oh.
She cried.
But I couldn't let him go through with it. You see, that's why I left the tin spoon last night, to stop him. That was when I met Redstone's stable.
In response to my raised eyebrow, she explained.
I had no idea. I only met him last night. I had no idea that he had anything to do with my husband until this morning. The police told me at the station that Connor had suspected Stable. But I knew instantly that he was a terrible man. A woman's intuition never lies. Stable talks like a snake, and he has the looks to match.
So you were both searching for the same person last night? I asked.
Yes, but he wasn't around. I think...
She sobbed. I'm tired of this, I said. Who is it?
It's the owner of that hat.
She said, pointing to it.
Yeah.
Hey, it's
look
Franklin!
It was Franklin.
I was right.
Yeah.
It was always Franklin.
It's Franklin.
Franklin. Frankie, I asked. She continued slowly.
Yes. He took the gun from me yesterday. I was too dazed to argue.
Nice story, I said, but you still fit the bill just fine.
Phyllis, even if I had the gun, how could I know where to plant it? I only met Stable yesterday and I knew nothing about him.
Franklin had known about the case.
Franklin had known about the case from you, isn't that right?
You're only telling this to me now, I asked. What's the big idea, stringing me along?
Phyllis,
She said softly.
Franklin did this for me. He saved me. If that awful man Stable has to take the fall so that Franklin can stay free, well...
She trailed off. I shook my head and looked at her. If she was telling the truth, Stable could confirm it. And if she was lying, I thought, what if she ran? Well, she would get stopped soon enough. Good looks can be a curse, and it would be a cinch to snatch her. Besides, with those opiates in her, she would have difficulty standing, let alone running anywhere. I gazed at her, and she understood what I was thinking. I'll be right
here if you come back.
I wondered why she would fabricate such a story if she knew she was stuck. Then I thought, what if it was true? I had to speak with Frankie.
Do we want to speak with Stable first, though? Is that something we can do?
Let's
go. Let's check.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Nope, we gotta go talk with Frankie.
Ooh, final confrontation.
Yeah.
So, do you want to put all the final pieces together and have our final confrontation next time?
I guess so. I mean, it's gonna be interesting because in some ways, Frankie was linked to this from the beginning. He was the one that had not only the bottle with the poem to get into the speakeasy, but he also had the bottle of Zin that was identical to the
And was the one that told us about it, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's got his hooks in this, but I don't understand what his motive could be, so
Yeah,
it'll be
I don't
interesting.
really... I mean, he wouldn't be, like, in love with Mrs. Green.
No.
I can't imagine.
I mean,
but-
I have to imagine it's tied to the vineyard in Sonoma.
Yeah, if it goes all the way back to the bootlegging, which would be much more holistic. That, like, this weird bootlegging side plot is actually what did get him killed.
Yeah.
That would
Well,
make more
I mean,
sense.
also keep in mind that the bootlegging side plot, if Frankie has connections to the vineyard in Sonoma, then they were out a lot of money for their wine.
Yeah.
They were supposed to be paid by the money that Paul was going to give, what's his face? Green.
Green,
But
yeah.
then they were never paid and he was going to run town. So.
Yeah, and that could be really bad for Frankie.
Yeah.
Okay, then I guess we'll have our final confrontation next time.
Sounds good.
It'll probably be the finale, unless this is going to go in a crazy direction, but
Who
it feels
knows?
like it. So
Yeah.
you'll see when that episode goes up. Just wait another year. It'll come, I swear.
All right, all right.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.
Thank you.